it's Josh here. Welcome back to Happening Point. I hope you're having a lovely day. Today we're going to be working on Maliboomer Meadows and finally getting that Maliboomer Mad Dash ride finally complete. Well, I'd say complete. It's mostly complete. We still need to do a little bit more work around the areas, but it's going to be mostly complete after this episode. We're going to get that station in. We're going to get all the supports with the lovely little letter blocks, like I said in the last episode, and obviously get a whole lot of massive building blocks, Legos, and other sort of toys around the place. We obviously also sort out the queue, get a bit of a storage shed, stuff like that. Basically get, our bearings sorted out. So for next episode, we can kind of fix a couple things, if they're a bit broken, and get some other stuff sorted out. If we need to, like that sign and things like that. Now, yeah, like a couple things aren't going to be complete in this episode, but don't worry, we are going to finish it all in the next episode. So, just give me a little bit of time. We'll get that sorted in the next episode. But without further ado, people, we're going to get to the time lapse. So, I hope you enjoy the video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you do. And without further ado, let's get on with the time lapse. Right, so here we are in the time lapse. Starting off here, we're going to be building all those lovely building blocks. I think I mentioned this in the first episode. Actually, I cannot remember for the life of me, but I'm pretty sure that I mentioned that I wanted to do these kind of like building blocks, letter blocks sort of things, going all the way up these poles here, and I really, really like how it came out. Honestly, like when I look at this, I think why didn't the actual Stinky Dog Dash do this? Because I really do actually like how this turned out, and it adds a lot of interest to these pillars right here. Now, obviously, this build ends up being quite claustrophobic and tight, but that's the whole point. You're supposed to have a lot of near misses and stuff like that. So, in the end, I kind of like how it turned out. It kind of has a lot of near misses. It's a very good ride, if you ask me. Well, the ride's not very good because I built the ride. But, we move. But anyway, yes, what we're going to be starting off by doing here, obviously, is putting in all these blocks. Now, the way that I did this is literally, just by putting some blocks, and then I placed all of these pictures on here, recolored them all, and then put all the decals on them, which, by the way, took way longer than you would ever think. I mean, this doesn't look like it took that long, but what you're watching here, they're doing all these, things, I think was over about 2 or 3 hours of time. It took a hell of a lot of time right here to get all of these different things in, just because I had to keep on copying and pasting the decals over and over and stuff like that, and I had to make sure that they obviously didn't clip with the roller coaster, which is what I'm doing right now, because I think a couple of them did actually clip through the coaster in places. So you'll see I'm going on the ride every so often just to make sure that things don't clip through, that sort of stuff. But anyway, yeah, I mean, a lot of this first bit here is literally just going to be doing all these pairs, but don't worry, we'll move on soon to something a little bit more exciting than obviously just placing all of these things in right here, all these little boxes. I mean, there is an absolute ton of them, as you can tell right here. What I actually decided to do is start just by placing them all in, which is what I just did there, and then by colouring them all, and then placing in all the actual images last here, because I thought, well, that probably makes a bit more sense. It's a little bit easier. So what I did is I did all the green ones, all the blue ones, all the red ones, and then all the purple ones, I think, or something like that. I can't remember, honestly. But yeah, eventually we get them all in here. I do miss a couple, so we fix them, but it's not that bad. We got it pretty much done there pretty easily, guys, pretty easily. But anyway, yeah, what I wanted to quickly talk about is, if you don't already know, these videos are going to be coming out every single Tuesday from now on, which means that these videos are going to be a little bit shorter. Now, this has about 7 hours of footage in it, which is actually quite long for one of these episodes, to be honest. In comparison to, what the next couple of videos might be, it is actually quite long. And, well, the main reason for them being a bit shorter is because I've got to get these out every week instead of every 2 months or something like that, which is what I did Happening Point, or every month if you, include 𝗬𝗂𝗽𝗀𝗀. So basically, I've got a lot more, to do. I'm not doing challenge videos and stuff like that, and I'm not doing showcases anymore, which means that I'll obviously have more time to build in the park and stuff like that, which I'm very happy about. But it does mean that there might be a bit shorter videos here. But I mean, is it really the end of the world? No, because, you can still get a pretty good video here. It's the exact same speed, but actually the video's a little bit shorter. I mean, the video's only about 15 minutes instead of 20 minutes. So, hey, is it really the end of the world? No. But yeah, anyway, what we're doing here then is this building right here obviously needed doing really badly. Now, we don't really focus on these sort of buildings much today. Next episode is going to be doing that little show down in that area, and basically just finishing up Maliboomer Meadows. I want to add a flat ride and some R2 in here and do some stuff like that, because obviously right now it's looking a bit bare. And also obviously add some lights around the place, add some, benches, chuck some maybe shops around here and stuff like that. Basically, just light everything up, do some nice stuff, and now we've got the fireworks in the game. I've actually got some cool ideas for the Maliboomer show, which, you know, may or may not work. I have no clue, but it does now mean that we've got some more, you know, options. I don't know if it's going to quite work in that sort of terms, but, you know, still, I do want to add some fireworks in somewhere. I was thinking maybe around Blair, actually, because obviously you've got the lake there, so we could have the fireworks on the lake on like a barge, but honestly, I don't know. I'm going to have to decide that and work that out in the next episode. That's not for today anyway. But anyway, what you can see that we're doing here is we're going to be chucking in all those fences just around there, because obviously we had a bit of problems there, fixed it in the end, and then we're just going to chuck a wall around here. I was really kind of stumped on what to do with this entire area, really. Because to be honest, that weird, like, outcrop there was not, you know, it didn't work very well in the end, and I wasn't a big fan of it. And you can see right here, something else that I'm not a big fan of, is that we actually built a little tree area here, which I wasn't a big fan of, so I had to look at some more photos of the Slinky's Dog Dash, and I realized that they had a massive Jenga tower in the middle, which honestly, I absolutely love. I love this Jenga tower. I think it works very well. Here, I was going to build, like, a big, like, toy box, like, you know, and have, like, a toy inside, but in the end, I decided it ain't it, chief, and I kind of got rid of it and changed it up for some other stuff right here. You can see we started placing in some building blocks. I mean, you already know what this looks like because the showcase was at the start of the actual video, but yeah, you know, you get the point here. We start building some lovely little what do you call them, some lovely building blocks here. We also add some more toys in around. You'll see that there's a yo-yo here a little bit later and stuff like that. And one thing that I also kind of took a lot of inspiration from Slinky Dog Dash is these kind of like building blocks kind of pillared over and almost making like, you know, little mini tunnels, I guess, or just like little like doorways or frames for the coast to go through, which obviously, you know, adds a little bit of near miss. It makes it just look a little bit more interesting, and honestly, I'm really happy I did it. You can see here, I just chucked in some little Lego blocks right there, because I was like, hey, why not? Lego's easy to build. It's just a couple squares and a couple circles. How hard can it really be? So we chucked those in right there. And here you can see I'm building this yo-yo. It says happening point on it. But honestly, I might actually change that to say something else. I don't know. If you've got any, like, good names to put on the yo-yo, that'd be funny, or, you know, kind of a nice, sort of, what's the word? A nice reference, then obviously tell me down below. Now, what you can see that I'm doing here is I'm actually building a Rubik's Cube. Now, in the end, this Rubik's Cube, yeah, as you can see there, was actually deleted. I kind of still like the idea of a Rubik's Cube, but to be honest, I think it didn't quite work in what I was doing, honestly. I wasn't a big fan of it in the end. And honestly, you know, after a lot of thinking about it, I just got rid of it and was just like, yeah, whatever, sack it off. And of course, guess what we replaced it with? Building blocks. Yes, it's going to be a common theme throughout this entire video, building blocks. You know, who saw that one coming? Totally not me. But yeah, you've got all the building blocks here. You can see I'm testing the ride just to make sure that nothing clips here. And you can see I'm building a couple more little Legos just here on this corner as well. Because the Legos, again, are something that's very easy to just fill in a space with. And, you know, it's pretty easy to just sort stuff out, you know. It looks pretty good here. Now, I can't remember what that random little box there was. I honestly can't. Oh, yes, I was going to build a Jack in the Box, but in the end, I had no clue what I was doing, and I kind of gave up. But you can see here, we're going to start working on the station now. Now, honestly, I kind of love and hate this station at the same time, because, like, you know, the station was kind of, the station looks nice, but at the same time, the station's kind of like, meh. I mean, like, it doesn't really match the theme. Like, I love the look of the station, but it doesn't really match the theme. But honestly, I think I'm just going to keep it, because in the end, I kind of like it. And you can see here, what I actually started off with here is just doing a bit of a concrete frame, because I was looking at, like, buildings that I could do and ideas that I could do. And in the end, I found I looked at the Maliboomer, I looked at the Slinky Dog Dash, and the station for that was kind of really big. And honestly, a bit shit. It's just, like, some massive concrete areas with, like, some big posters almost plastered over them, you know, some big images. So, you know, yeah, I wasn't really a fan of that. And I thought, you know what, let's kind of mix in the theme of Happening Point so far with that sort of German architecture sort of style, and obviously mix in that sort of idea of, you know, the toys and the playing and whatever, that sort of stuff. That the ride's obviously themed to here. So, you know, yeah, we are, you'll see here a little bit. Obviously, we start off with a little bit of a concrete frame. Now, at this point, honestly, I think I took the night off because I had no clue what to do here. And in the end, you can see that I tried doing some stuff and I didn't really like it. And then here, I tried doing this here, and honestly, this kind of stuck. If I say honestly, it did stick. I know it stuck because I did it. So, you know, like, obviously, you know, we got these walls going all the way around here. Some of them poke out a little bit more than the others. You know, we got some beams going across there, but kind of beams made out of toys, I guess, in a way. And then obviously you've got like these, you know, things going over the top right here. I can't remember what they're called, like the little flat flings. Now, this is where I kind of decided to change it up to more of, the happening point sort of look to it, with a sort of German architecture bringing it in here, because obviously after a lot of thinking and a lot of deliberation, I kind of decided in the end, so yeah, just why not put a roof here, and why not just build it open and have that German sort of style in here. And honestly, I like it a lot. Now, I'm going to change a couple of things here. First of all, you'll see that storage shed in a little bit. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm probably going to change that. And also, there's no place where the actual person, the ride operator, can stand right now. You can see that little bit that crops out there at the back there, near where you come out. That will be a ride operations like place right there. I'm pretty sure. I'm probably going to build like a little building there. But to be honest, after a lot of working on this, I kind of got a little bit sick of building this station, and I kind of just wanted to get this video out because I was extremely tired. And today, as I'm actually recording this, I'm doing a stream for 30 days straight video, a live stream, which, by the way, if you're not already watching, guys, make sure to come watch the live stream for 30 days straight live stream. It's kind of epic. So yeah, in the end, I kind of just thought, yeah, this will do. And honestly, I quite like it for now. And in the next episode, of course, we can get like, a lot more stuff in here. I get it a little bit more detailed in places and get that sort of theme and a bit more realism in. Because obviously, you'll see this now. It's not very realistic. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed for it to be really more realistic. But, for now, I kind of like it. And it's kind of good enough. Now, one thing that I did struggle with here is actually working on a fence design. Now, you see, I tried an absolute ton of different fence designs before. I kind of just landed on a very, very, very bland, very shit, boring fence right here. Although I say very shit, but it is, as I was just speaking about, realistic, which, that's kind of a good thing, to be honest. Because really, would they have a custom fence in here? No. This station's already well decorated enough. Yeah, it'd probably just be a couple of little metal boxes painted. But, it's still, this station's quite detailed here. There's quite a lot to it. And this ride's quite detailed. You can see there's a lot of blocks. There's a lot of, decoration to it. So really, after all of that, they'd probably want to just get a cheap, some cheap fences in here. Because, you got to cost cut, you got to cut costs somewhere. And in the end of it, metal's expensive. So a cheap metal fence here, which is probably being pre-manufactured, would work much better here, probably. Like, see, this is the little storage shed, which I'm not a big fan of. Like I said, I'm probably going to rework this because it kind of doesn't really work. I think what I might end up doing is adding some of those, building blocks, as you can see right here on there. It's kind of a bit of a fence to block that off a little bit. And I think that might look a bit better. Because obviously over there we have, next to that gate, a lovely little wall. And I decided to cover that up with some lovely building blocks there. I thought that looked nice. And honestly, yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think it works well. So, hey, we're going to go for it. And then again, once again here, we get some nice building blocks in here with some nice, doorway almost things. We get some fences in there. And then now we're going to start working on basically getting these signs in here. Now, I am going to do the decals next episode, which is basically just because obviously this entire thing isn't done. And I don't really like, the idea of... I don't really like the idea of putting a name and a decal on something until everything's done, because then, if you do that, then you kind of lose sight of what you're doing. You kind of go, whatever, it looks good enough, So I like to leave decals until the very end and get that done right at the very end. You can see that we're just putting in some fences all through the station here. Trust me, this was extremely boring. But anyway, here's all the lovely Discord server boosters, patrons, and Twitch subscribers. If you'd like to become a patron, you can do that at patreon.com/𝗏𝗂𝗍𝗍. You can also become a Twitch subscriber over at my Twitch, and of course, you can boost my server at Discord. But except from that, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated. It'd be very nice, and it shows that you're supporting this video, and obviously it does better in the algorithm. But except from that, guys, I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in another one. Goodbye!